Hey, what is up? This is Mikhail with Hustle System, and in this video, we are going to be talking about stress. Specifically, how stress affects every single area of your life. Whether you are a student who's trying to do well in school, you're just trying to do your job at your work, or you're trying to have a better, more fruitful relationship with your significant other, with yourself, with maybe a business that you're building, and you're trying to take it to the next level, but there's this resistance in the way that's constantly preventing you from achieving the results that you're after, and you can't quite figure out why you can't seem to hit that amazing mark that you have set out for yourself. When you look yourself in the mirror, you say, oh man, I should really be here, and yet I am here. And a huge factor of that is stress and how you deal with it, especially as an entrepreneur, because no matter what you do in your life, things are going to come up. And the way that you deal with those things is what is going to determine the difference between failure and success in life, in relationships, and in business. So, stress. Let's talk about it specifically for entrepreneurs, okay? As an entrepreneur, what are some of the things that you're dealing with? You're dealing with running your company, you're dealing with creating products, you're dealing with trying to set goals for yourself and hit those goals, and you're always holding yourself to a certain benchmark. So the first type of stress we're going to tackle is self-imposed stress. This is stress that you impose on yourself in order to perform. Now, I used to call this the engine, the driver, and a way for you to continuously push yourself forward again and again and again through imposing stress on yourself to become better and be the A-type performer, be the A-type personality that you feel you can be so that you can become the greatest version of yourself. But here's the caveat to this, okay? That engine is not a sustainable engine. I know because I've tested it myself. I put myself through stress after stress after stress. And it's kind of like in the gym. There's a point where lifting heavier weight is good, and you lift heavier and heavier and heavier. But there's also a point where you have to stop lifting heavier and start focusing on the form and the technique with which you lift that weight, rather than focusing on just stacking more weight. And that's the point that I really want to get across to you, is that first type of stress, that self-imposed stress. Rather than putting more and more and more qualifiers on yourself, which in turn puts qualifiers on your success, wipe that clean and ask yourself, how am I using stress in my life? How is it impacting me? When I wake up in the morning, do I feel good about myself? Do I look around and say, wow, I'm living the best version of my life. Look at how beautiful life is. I want more beauty. I want more gratitude. I want more abundance. I want more amazing things in my life. Or are you putting yourself through a pattern of repeated abuse through imposing stress on yourself in order to perform? Oh, I'm not gonna be happy until I get that newer car, that newer house. I'm not gonna be happy until I get that really hot girlfriend. Always more, always better, always faster. Okay, there's two ways to achieve it. One engine is not sustainable. The stress engine is not a sustainable engine for you to achieve that A-player success in your life. I don't know a single A-player that really truly got there and stayed there by utilizing stress as an engine and as a driver for success. But if you start to transform the way that you react to stress, things are going to change. Okay, and this is truly a biological switch, a biological shift, that as soon as you have it, you will simply not experience stress. And I'll explain. So typically, when something happens in your life, something that would be stressful, maybe it's something at work, maybe it's a new challenge that your business has to face that you didn't anticipate. Okay, there's two types of reactions. Reaction number one is to trigger cortisol, the stress hormone, which in turn slows you down. It slows down your decision making. It prevents you from actually taking the actions in that moment that you need to take. But there's also a second way to deal with stress. And that's to have it trigger dopamine instead. And I have a lot of entrepreneurs, business leaders that I consult and advise and help with their businesses. And this has been the biggest shift for them. And we're talking 100 million plus players here. So we're not talking little kids. This is high level stuff where as soon as you shift the mentality of when something, quote, stressful comes up in your environment, rather than triggering the stress hormone cortisol, you choose to trigger dopamine instead. And this is just a conscious choice. You say, I am grateful for this challenge. I welcome this new thing that I need to tackle. I am excited about lifting those extra 10, 15, 20, 30, 45 pounds. When I load up that bench press. I am thrilled to swim those extra 5 laps. I am pumped to take that company from 10 to 100 million. Okay, a lot of things that other people would find intimidating or off-putting or stressful, You need to rewire your brain to trigger dopamine. And what that's going to allow you to do is actually to take a lot of pleasure in going through the process of achieving those goals and those challenges. And that's a much more sustainable engine for success than using cortisol to drive performance. Instead, you are using dopamine, organic, natural dopamine, to drive your performance. Okay, so that's the first type of stress, the self-induced. The second type of stress is stress from the environment. Now, I've already given you a hint here on how to deal with this, right? Because when you set a challenge for yourself, dopamine. You're going to take that same approach to stresses that come up. Okay, might be a stressful day at work. Somebody might cut you off in traffic. You might just not be achieving what you want to be achieving with your current life. Well, rather than going to a paradigm of self-attack, what you're going to do is you're going to turn that challenge, you're going to turn that resistance into an opportunity for improvement. Again, say it with me. Turn the resistance into an opportunity for improvement. Because what that's going to allow you to do is to actually rewire your brain to seek more opportunities over and over and over again. There's a reason why people get addicted to substances that trigger dopamine. There's a reason why people get addicted to significant others that trigger oxytocin, serotonin, and a lot of the other chemicals that are related to happiness. Okay? It's because once your brain experiences it, it wants more. So as soon as you go and attach those things that are the to-do items, the challenges, the things you need to tackle to a dopamine trigger, now every single time you tackle every single one of those things, your brain says, I want more. I've achieved that challenge. I want more. Or even if you're struggling with that challenge, I want more. I want to struggle more. I want to achieve more. I want to push harder. I want to deliver those results because those results are going to make me want to deliver more results. Okay, and that's not coming from a place of scarcity. That's not coming from a place of stress. That's not coming from a place of cortisol. That's coming from a place of abundance and forward momentum. And if you truly want to achieve that A player level, okay? Again, if you're a student and you just want to crush it in school, get out of school and have an amazing career, if you're someone who's in a 9-to-5 and you either want to do the best job you can do at that job, I respect that. Or you want to break out of that job and do your own business. And if you're in your own business and you need to perform, you have to start understanding this concept and you have to start implementing in your life. So the next time that something comes up and you feel an energy drain, okay? It might be your own self-talk. It might be an external force. As soon as you feel that energy drain, you need to shut it down. You need to go, hold on. What is life really telling me here? What's the lesson behind this? What is the opportunity that lies right beneath the surface of this one thing that I assume to be a challenge, a stressor? Really, the thing that's in your way is the road you need to take. Let me say that again. The thing that's in your way is the road you need to take. The obstacle is the way, as Ryan Holiday would put it. So, look, stress is one of the things we all deal with it. And the higher up you get and the more you take on, the more difficult it becomes to deal with it. But this is a technique that if you truly apply this in your life, the more you take on, it's actually going to become easier and easier and easier for you to deal with quote unquote stress because you've rewired your brain for success in order to be able to deal with it. So, hopefully you found this video helpful. We're coming to you today from the Hollywood sign here in beautiful Los Angeles, California. This has been Mikhail with Hustle System, where art meets commerce. And do me a favor, comment on this video. What is the stressful thing that you are going through right now? What's that thing that kind of annoys you, kind of bugs you, it's kind of like that thorn in your side that, you know, you feel like your life would be so good except ... What's that one thing? Okay, comment that down below and I will respond to every single comment and I will tell you how to deal with that specific stress point so that you can live a happier, more pleasant, more abundant, more beautiful life. As always, this has been Mikhail with Hustle System, where art meets commerce. I'll see you in the next one.